What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And, of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight.
Yeah.
Take a second to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us anywhere and everywhere at MyCowboysFamily. Hop the Discord, links down below. And, guys, yeah, you can actually call this a comeback. You know, probably the longest break outside of any kind of family vacation, although this was a family vacation. We had some family in town, took the time to spend it with, family.
So a little less time here on the After Dark, on the regular session on MCF, but the After Dark, everyone's sleeping, family's sleeping, but I'm still awake, so that's what happened here these last couple of days. A little partying over there, a little hanging out over there, and here, no Cowboy news to really talk about, guys. Not much at all, but we will give you all the updates as needed. There are a couple things to at least touch on and a couple ideas floating around that I'd like to discuss here on this Sunday wrap-up. It's basically a fan Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all wrapped up in one.
A fan weekend.
Yes, a wrap-up. So we'll get into everything, all the goods here in a moment, but before we get rolling, baby, I think it's time to talk about the people that rep these boards here.
Of course.
At least for this week
do
from
what
last
we do
week.
Without the help, love, and support. Thank you very much to
a sponsor of the week, the man, McLovin.
Thank you so much, McLovin, for showing the love there. And, of course, you can see the Cash App Queen with the crown. That's Gloria representing. Also, a big mahalo to the stream boss, Mark Hovsepian, stream bossing around and fully loaded up there.
I think I was wrong, actually.
Yeah, I thought it was Mark Hovsepian. So...
yeah, well, that's happens when you miss a couple days. We truly apologize to the man, Mark Hovsepian. He is the sponsor of the week. But, of course, he's been repping. It's been hard because we've been having the After Dark takeovers here, whether it's been McLovin, Harley Dad, Deadfool, and many others on there. And now, we have the Gloria taking over the Cash App Queen. So, yes.
Yeah, that's right, because this week was a Cowboy representation
correct,
week.
Yes. Everybody represented the board with Cowboy fans. And, yes, Mark Hovsepian, 2 out of the 4 boards. The sponsor of the week, not McLovin, although he's coming this week for it. I got confused. But it's Mark Hovsepian holding it down. Much love to him on both those 89 points, like you said, on the stream boss, Gloria, the queen of the Cash App, and then the king, the champion of the membership gifting, portion of the board. One of the best ways to drop the love here and support the channel and help your fellow family members. Skeptical fans, staying skeptical.
Ooh, appreciate you, Skeptical, who, by the way, also, pre-stream, dropped
the
love.
Yeah, he actually, Jason Renfro actually had a 5-week domination. And then Skeptical took it away at the last minute last week. Jason started with the lead this week. Both guys battled to a tie. Today's the last day, but that tie's been broken, yes, baby, because of the pre-stream drop. A gifted membership from the great Skeptical, one Skeptical fan. So he is one up on Jason Renfro, trying to take that back-to-back like our 90s Cowboys. We'll see if that happens literally tonight. So big shout-out to Skeptical fan. And then big shout-out to the other leaders on the board this week, and really the leader on the board this week. And it's a close battle, but when it comes to that, the Cash App side of things, the current leader and leader of the sponsor of the week, it is the man McLovin. So that's why I got a little confusion there. He is the man.
They both start with M too. McLovin, Mark.
But McLovin is currently
MCF.
the Cash App leader, trying to take that crown from the queen, Miss Gloria over there. But then also Mark Hovsepian got that crown down there as a sponsor of the week. McLovin currently in first place above everybody. But it is a close battle because you got SCO971, Marissa Sparkle, Jason Renfro, Jet Lee 44. And many others in the mix here.
I still call him Jason, I admit.
And many others in the mix here. And I just said him now when he's, Jason Renfro was the one who took over the gifting board. So, yes, Jason Renfro, it's Jet Lee 44, who's been the big baller up there on the boards. And, yeah, he's battling Skeptical fan right now for the membership gifting board. But, hey, listen, there's a lot of ways of getting on here, getting shout-outs, and being part of this thing and supporting the channel. Of course, there's the Super Chats. There's the thanks button that you can use anytime, any video we have up already posted or live after any live streams ended. So there's that. There's also, of course, the membership, which
that's right.
You have Marissa Sparkle, by the way. I got to shout her out. She's back in that star level membership. Got Big D in the Navy Blue crew, as well as William Burney. All 3 of you guys, all 2 of you guys, William Burney and Big D in the Navy Blue. And of course, Marissa Sparkle in that star level. So appreciate you guys there. Also, let me give a couple of shout outs from the last couple of nights of drops when it comes to the After Dark session on My Cowboys Family. Alice, Harley Dad, Jason also dropped a little bit in there. Roger, Dat Asher in the house. We got Gerald Jones, Trent M, Grateful Nomad. I mean, we had the great McLovin, Mick, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. I see him in the chat. We got Raider Rob, Sco971, and Kirk Burning, and Marissa Sparkle as well. So appreciate everybody in the After Dark sessions. Got to give those shout outs. And of course on the My Cowboys Family side session here, whether it's the membership joinings, gifting, thanks drops, all that good stuff. Thank you all for that side of things. Now, there's that side of things. But on the After Dark session, we always use these other ways to support the channel outside of the gifting, memberships, and the jumping in the membership, the thanks button, and the super chat. Yeah. So there's 4 other ways.
Of course, you have the Cash App, money sign My Cowboys Family, the Venmo at My-Cowboys-Family, the regular PayPal link, and of course the Streamlabs link lets your comment show up on screen just like a super chat would.
Yeah, so we got that wrapped up there. Appreciate everybody who's dropped the love, support, and the shout outs still coming because we got to talk about that, the star level and over everything level. On the nightly, we shout them out here on My Cowboys Family whenever we do go live. And we also have that. Hey, we're almost at the end of the month. We're going to have Seabass on here soon. He's in the over everything level. We also got a lot of people in the star level who get a chance. Both groups get a chance to win one of these sewn-stitched jerseys. Your choice, right? There's a lot of players to choose from, new and old. And, of course, it's different teams and different sports as well available. But we'll get it to you guys as needed. Your choice of what we have for the winner of the star over everything, and of course the weekly winners.
Yeah.
Like Mark Hovsepian last week is one of the winners. McLovin was one of the winners. These guys get bonus raffle entries, and every time you win one of these weeks as a sponsor of the week, you are getting a entry into this monthly raffle. And we got 808 Cowboy 77, part of the membership now in the Navy Blue crew. But why, baby? Why?
Because the man, Jet Li 44, a.k.a. Jason Renfro. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you, of course, for gifting that membership.
That does, right?
That ties him with Skeptical, if I'm not mistaken.
We got a battle here to the end. Skeptical versus Jason Renfro. I'm sorry, Jet Li. Which, by the way, both guys are in the star level membership. Let me not delay it anymore here. I'll update the board. But first, maybe let's do the shout outs for those in the silver. Because today we got all shout out to silver.
It was a fan weekend.
Silver, star, and over everything levels, baby.
Yeah, so thank you very much to Mr. A. Lavelle, Skeptical Fan. We have Jet Li 44, Lincoln Kane, Dwayne Broussard, Marissa Sparkle, The Lunatic, and over everything, the man C. Bass.
Yeah, appreciate all you guys currently representing on those boards, currently in the mix for one of these jerseys.
Yep.
So in a stitch, you know how it goes.
And with that said, let me go ahead and do some shout outs here in the chat. Shout out a few comments here as well.
How about shouting out Jason Renfro?
Membership. Gotta shout out the man Jason Renfro. Congrats there to Fuego. Bringing the heat, of course, here. Just gifted a membership.
Jet
and
Li,
perfect way
once
to
again.
kick off the shout outs because he's also here in the chat. So shout out to you, Fuego. Shout out to you, of course, Jet Li 44. Much love.
Yeah, with that, he is now jumped to first place on the gifting board, trying to take back his crown, trying to make it 6 out of the last 7 weeks of domination on the gifting board. Of course, Skeptical still in the mix, so we'll see what happens. Jason's in first, Skeptical in second. 4-3 is the battle right now on the board. So, yes, I'm sorry. Good. Continue it going, baby.
All good, but shout out to the man, C. Bass.
Yeah.
What's up? Much love to you again. I usually used to hit you up on Twitter. I know you had an issue with your Twitter there, so I got to remember to send you an email there so we can go ahead and get you on here on the show and discussing your Cowboy thoughts here once more. Mr. Over Everything, right, Seabass?
Yeah.
Shout out once more. Let me see. We have Mike
Can't wait to get him on here,
Jet Li 44, Fuego, even you, Eastside Harold.
And Jet Li, Harold in the house. Jet Li 44, by the way, also is in jumped into third place on the overall board, only behind Sco 971 and, of course, McLovin. So that battle continues as well.
We have 808 Cowboy 77, of course. GM in the house. And yes, guys, we have been watching quite a bit of basketball here in this house, including the Dallas Mavericks.
Big time Dallas Mavericks. Looks like they're going to that NBA Finals. They got to win one more, but they're right around the corner.
They're obviously on quite the hot streak right now. So I don't want to jinx it, though. Not yet. Lil Dallas Cowboy, what's up? We have Daniel Baby Sports Highlights in the house. That's Modius representing. Tammy Soltis, much love. MCF After Dark, who's that? Skeptical fan, always staying skeptical. Who, by the way, said MCF 2024 for president.
I agree.
Oh,
I don't know if I want it, but I agree.
What's up? We have Mike Aldana in the house. You see Steve S, of course.
Yeah, but that was gifted from Skeptical Fan, who also, by the way, did drop a $2 thanks in the thanks drop button side of things. So I do want to shout him out there. He was commenting on our last live stream we had. I think it was a Thursday, and he said about basically CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, DAK, whoever these players. He said, "quote greedy players, you don't need to break the bank to live comfortably." Which, even though I agree with you, Skeptical, it's also...
They want more than comfort. They want luxury.
Yeah, but I mean, exactly, and they deserve it since they're bringing in billions of dollars to the owners. And they're living in the lap of luxury, The owners are. So they should get a little taste of that. They're not the crumbs, They should be more part of that. Anyways, I just want to throw that out there for this man, Skeptical. Appreciate your thoughts on that thanks drop.
So, Freedom First. Looks like he was first tonight. Double R, hello and hi. Let me come back down. Apocalyptic Cowboy, much love. James Herr, what's up? Definitely ready for some football as well, though. So, and yeah, let's go ahead. Talk about, football, NFL, sports.
Yeah,
what's going on?
Let's go. Let's kick it off. Got a couple days of news to catch up on.
Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, and I hope everybody's having a good Memorial Day. I mean, tomorrow is the celebration of it, or the recognition of it. I think the 27th. Is tomorrow 27th?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so... happy Memorial Day, of course, the somber, because for those that gave the ultimate sacrifice, so obviously we honor them. And, we go live tomorrow, of course, we'll repeat the same sentiments here. So, now, NFL news here, this is retired news, Brett Favre. The FBI yesterday raided the offices of the prosecutor who led the Mississippi welfare case that basically kind of got the Brett Favre information. So it looks like some people are saying, there was some other stuff going on behind the scenes here to help either cover things up or, look, we'll wait and see. But the FBI is getting involved. That could lead back eventually back to old Brett Favre. So we'll see what happens there. He steals from the poor and gives to his rich family, basically, and the people that live in his neighborhood. So, talk about greedy. Yeah, that's a greedy player.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's a greedy ass freaking Brett Favre. So
at least when Jerry steals from the poor, he lets you know he's doing it to your face.
He says, here, this is $50 for a hot dog. So now, of course, we heard the comments. I'm not going to go much deeper into the Harrison Butker comments because those were said and done. I don't like the comments, but he did it in front of a Catholic school, and they agree with that stuff. So Travis Kelce was speaking on his teammate. Again, he was speaking on the Kelce podcast with his brother. His brother kind of understood the whole family part of things, he said, which, I kind of understand it too. Just we don't agree with the woman part of it. It's just be homemakers. But I don't know if, he kind of disagreed with Butker, but Jason Kelce kind of tried to be more positive on that spin. While Travis Kelce, who was, his teammate, dating a woman like Taylor Swift, right, who's not far from going to be a homemaker. So Travis Kelce spoke about his teammates, the kickers, widely criticized comments. Meaning that Benedictine College on May 11th. Travis Kelce said this about Harrison Butker's views, quote, "I can't say I agree with the majority of it, or just about any of it, outside of just him loving his family and his kids." I kind of agree with him on that. I mean, listen, you can still be friendly with the person. You can still be a coworker. You just know he's got those views. Yeah. And all he's saying is that, do I agree with it? No, I agree with nothing of it except for love your kids and your family part, So, and I'm with Travis Kelce on this, even over Jason Kelce's views. That's just my opinion. And everyone's giving their opinions. It should be running its course, hopefully. And that's that. We move on from that. Now, back to now to end this current, affecting everybody in the NFL kind of news. Former Cowboy, NFL center and guard Billy Price today announced his retirement. Now, you might not know who the hell he is. He was on a team last year. He spent time with the Cowboys on our practice squad last season, Billy Price. He had a respiratory blood clot.
Jesus.
So he is being forced to retire. He was the Cincinnati Bengals' first-round pick back in 2018. And he had made 45 career starts with 3 different teams. Not us, but before, that's why we picked him up, put him on the practice squad, hoping we could find something from him, but nothing. And now, he wasn't on our team anyways. He was already released, now officially retired. So wishing the best for Billy Price after finding
that's quite a horrible medical retirement.
Yeah, respiratory
okay.
blood clot situation. That's horrible. So, again, best wishes to him. And hope he gets through this thing. I mean, I don't know how the prognosis is. It does sound serious enough to retire. And it doesn't sound like it's life threatening. I think that would have been a bigger mention about that. So, hoping the best for Billy Price. Now, another former Cowboy player, a little closer to our hearts and wants when it comes to how we can still upgrade this team in free agency. Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah.
So there was I'm going to kind of mix this in together. He was actually one of the players. There was a top 6 remaining free agent kind of write-up out there on different players, on offense and defense. Yeah, Gilmore was shown to go maybe the Chiefs. It'll be a great fit for him. Again, he's going to be turning 34 years old. Before week 2, right? So basically this year he's going to be 34 years old during the season. Stephon Gilmore. And we know cornerback is a position where most players that play cornerback don't last into their 30s too long at being at a high level. The Cowboys seem to have said, okay, we like what he did enough, but we're giving up on him as far as the next step as him turning 30, from 33 to 34, playing out the season at this age. The Cowboys don't seem interested at all. We know that the Panthers might have been interested, but they got who did they pick up? Yeah, I forgot that they got. But they got another guy there that kind of boxed him out of going this way. He's still a free agent. And Gilmore, though, even though he's going to be 34 this year in this season, he was rock solid for the Cowboys. All right, and he started all 17 games. I'm not saying this for us. I'm saying this is what they're saying, why he'll be a solid pickup for a team like the Chiefs, which, again, always trying to help their Super Bowl run. I don't blame them. For maybe adding a veteran like him who could still play.
Again, it really is too bad that it sounds like we have no interest in bringing him back because...
I think there's no interest. The Cowboys have not even reached out to him. But it's a combination of interest and also price is probably a little too high than the Cowboys would even bother paying when it comes to Stephon Gilmore, at this point. The Cowboys going to roll with Trayvon Diggs off the surgery, Deron Bland on the other outside corner, and then inside is going to be Jordan Lewis in the slot. But... Gilmore had one other interesting little comment, and I saw he tweeted this out there on X, and it was his, again, a guy named Stephen Gilmore Jr., and this guy had posted the picture, he's with the Lions, number 24, kind of making a pick or making a catch, saying Air Gilly. Stephon Gilmore retweeted this saying, my bro. Like 100. This is his actual brother. I didn't realize he played for the Detroit Lions.
Oh.
But he plays for the Detroit Lions, and he was just shouting him out. For a second, I'm like, wait, did he sign with the Lions, Gilmore? And I realized it was Stephen Gilmore Jr. and, of course, his brother, not actually Stephon Gilmore. So I just wanted to throw that out there in case you guys seen that, floating around. But when it comes to these free agents, and I'm going to tell you the ones that I saw that I thought made the most sense out there in these different. Right now, there's not any news on the Cowboys, so a lot of people just write a lot of bullshit. But I got 2 players I think are really good for free agency for us. We talked about Gilmore going to the Chiefs. They also spoke about Justin Simmons, safety, going to the Buffalo Bills from Denver as a free agent. They also spoke about Yannick Ngakoue, a free agent, going to the Vegas Raiders. They said, of course, Gilmore going to the Chiefs. Adoree Jackson going to the Steelers. And, that's a good cornerback right there. And then a receiver, Hunter Renfrow, who's been talked about going to Dallas as a possibility, going to the Eagles in this little write-up. And then they had the Cowboys with somebody on defense. I'll explain in a minute. Any quick comments, though, so far, baby, on anything we've said?
Mike Aldana said, Gilmore is the ultimate professional.
He is. So, old school style.
Rolling it back here, too. I'm sorry, it was a bit of a random side conversation because some person said in the chat, but you're not going to talk about, like, the DAK is a pervert situation or whatever.
That's over.
I know. But the point is that we obviously are all kind of coming to Dak's defense a little bit. In various different ways.
And just so you know, we did talk about it in detail, and Dak is innocent, and the woman that was making the extortion is the one here who's guilty. So, whether you love Dak or hate Dak, I mean, you can't be wanting Dak to get in trouble. Then that's just dumb. That's ignorant.
So. Exactly. So, and Brandon J, what's up? But no, the comment that made me laugh a little bit, though, is just a little Dallas Cowboy said, I don't know. Either way, Dak is a man. It doesn't change my football stance.
I mean, as long as you don't break any laws, yeah. But yeah, as long as he seemed to do everything right. And when this woman came out the woodwork trying to get him on a $100 million extortion deal, he was prepared, and the cops checked it out, and they found him completely innocent of everything in the sense of, like, they dropped any kind. They didn't even have charges because it was frivolous. While they're looking at her situation, saying this woman broke the law.
Yep.
So she's the one that fucked up. You know who didn't fuck up? Old JR. Jet Li 44 with the 119, the $1.19. Holla.
Ooh.
As he creeps up, trying to creep up the SCO. He is getting closer to that top spot there. We'll see what happens. Much love to Jason Renfro, and he said, "Go Cowboys!"
Always go Cowboys.
Leaving 88 points for Mark Hovsepian.
Yeah. What's up, Jacob Vasquez? Shout out to you as well. Thanks for rolling with us. And everybody here chilling with us. Make sure to hit like, sub it up, hit the bell, all that good stuff.
Now, let's go.
To you.
Because now I named all these other kind of names that were kind of discussed there. Mm-hmm. Free agent guys still available. I have an offensive guy and a defensive guy. And when it comes to offense, I mean, it's not a big name, all right? It's not a running back. It's not going to be, you could throw out there Dalvin Cook and bullshit you guys. But you want a real possibility who can easily fight and win the backup swing tackle spot over Chuma Edoga. And again, to me, there's a no-brainer. Former great player, former Super Bowl winner as well. Mm-hmm. Donovan Smith, left tackle. That's the offensive free agent target the Cowboys should look at. And it's very simple. Look, I know we have Tyler Smith that can go from left tackle to left. He's our backup left tackle. So I understand that they don't throw off the entire kind of continuity of the offensive line on the left side, because then you have to have like T.J. Bass or Brock Hoffman have to step in that spot at that guard position. So we don't even know what it's going to look like yet with BB, in the middle, or will it be Hoffman in the middle, T.J. Bass in the middle. So a lot of questions still, but Donovan Smith would be a solid player out there, especially. Here's the thing. He has 6 years experience, all right? His salary last year was only $2.7 million, all right? He spent the first 5 years of his career in Tampa. And, I think he won a Super Bowl with Brady there, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. He was a starting left tackle when Tom Brady showed up there. So, I mean, that and for them to count on him to protect Brady was a big deal. That was so this guy has a solid, 6 years in the NFL. Last year, he protected Patrick Mahomes, blindside, as the left tackle, earning himself a second Super Bowl ring. So he got 2 Super Bowl rings in 6 years. This guy got paid less than $3 million last year. So should it be a starter? Well, no, we got Terrence Steele on the right, which you could put question marks on that. You have rookie Tyler Guyton on the left. You could put question marks on that. Donovan Smith would resolve all problems here. Chuma Edoga, forget it. All right, he ain't going to start. So Donovan Smith can start, can play right, can play left. He would, being on the team for under $3 million, an offensive fucking lineman in that range, would already be a better option than anybody in our roster as a swing tackle. Already. And I think, I hate saying this, but if Terrence Steele starts playing with that, got that ACL, rehab situation not yet through the woods, and for whatever the reason, he turns into Michael Gallup, because he didn't have a good year last year, Terrence Steele. You got a lot of options now. Tyler Guyton can swing over to the right side, plays natural right tackle position. Donovan Smith can play his natural left tackle position. Tyler Smith can play the best where he's best and elite at left tackle, at left guard. So we're back to normal. We don't miss a beat with someone like Donovan Smith. If Terrence Steele fails us, if the rookie can't handle it, Donovan Smith, boom, right in there. It makes sense for the cheap, kind of web of protection you have here. Is, to me, more than worth it. More than worth it. To bring in someone like Donovan Smith. To bring in someone like Donovan Smith here, who's, you give it a cheap price as a swing tackle who can possibly start if you need to when you have a rookie on the left and a fucking banged up ACL'd Terrence Steele, who's still, to me, shaky. It's still a shaky situation. Donovan Smith's a steal in this situation to me. No Tyron Smith. He's not going to be Tyron Smith in the sense of ability, but he's a veteran presence, has 2 Super Bowl rings, on a roster with truly, on the tackle spots, a lot of young players, especially at left tackle, whether Austin Richards, whether it's, you have Shuma Adoga, we know what his window is. Tyler Guyton, rookie. We got Waletsko, never really played much. So we've got a room full of young left tackles, and someone like Donovan Smith would help us immensely. Okay, I'll stop.
We got?
I got it here. We got
Beat You Up.
Beat You Up in the house, dropping that $10 holler.
Shout out to you. And
what's that 3?
It still remains the Cooper Rush $10 holler as of now.
Yeah, and there's a 3 there. Is that the third drop?
Yeah, that's their third Super Channel live stream. But he said, we're winning the Super Bowl this year. And I say that every year. I have to stop listening to Cowboys content for months after we lose in the playoffs, but I'm back.
I feel you, man.
Let's go.
It's painful. It's painful.
Oh, yeah.
I understand why people step away for a little bit. You need a breather,
I agree. Especially, it grinds on you, right? Because it has been a grind. It's been a 20-something year grind or more, depending,
Almost 30.
Exactly. So, it's a rough time being a Cowboy fan, but we persevere. And thank you so much, Beat You Up. Appreciate you, and welcome back. Perfect timing because, again, I'm pretty sure this upcoming week is the last week that our rookies and veterans will be, right? No?
They've been practicing this whole past week. They've been practicing.
I know they have been. I said this upcoming week is the last week.
Last OTAs. Then we have the mandatory mini camp the week after that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, by the way, Beat You Up, I was going to say, too, it makes it harder for content creators and myself and the wife here. Although I know some people still do it every night, and that's cool. I understand because we used to do that, too. At least there was news going on. Like, there's not even really, truly news going on about the Cowboys.
Yeah, like this has genuinely, truly been one of the slowest Cowboy news cycles.
Yeah.
Which is really saying something considering how long, obviously, you've been a Cowboy fan and keeping up with, like, Cowboy news and just the whole Jerry World situation. So, yeah, definitely an interesting offseason for sure. Let's see how much that ends up paying off, right? So, anyway, let me go ahead and also hit up some comments here in the chat real quick. Skeptical fan saying, the Cowboys play mental gymnastics on your mind. They really do.
They do.
Oh, man. So, and yeah, we do need June 1st to get here. Tyron Church said, I need my defensive tackle. Oh, so honestly, I'm generally looking forward to seeing a little bit more from that Mike Zimmer defense just because I have, when I say I have questions, I don't mean in a negative way, just in a, I kind of want to see what he's got going on.
I'm going to bring up something actually related to that, okay. and I wanted you to keep on that last comment about the defensive tackle. Because the thing is, he's referring to June 1st and the cuts, and again, these players could have still been picked up, even if they are June 1st released. They're not going to be like really new players released. It just means that they were just salary cap casual, but they were able to go and sign anybody they want. It's all about June 1st means that the teams get the money back. So we get money on June 1st for Michael Gallup, but there's not any new players released on June 1st.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. I think that's a little confusion. That's why I wanted to clear that up.
Okay.
But the thing is that June 1st, I'm sure there'll be other players released and floating around. There's still free agents that are defensive tackles that can be picked up. And I'll get to that in a minute. So I talked about the offensive side, guys. Again, someone like Donovan Smith. Let me know what you all think about Donovan Smith, because to me, he is, for under $3 million, you're getting yourself a starter potential at left tackle. One of the most important positions on offense in football. And then you got you got left tackle starter ability. Not Tyron Smith, but not bad. Very, very better than anybody else we got on this roster starting, at least that we know, unless Tyler Guyton is ready to go.
That's it. We've moved on from Tyron Smith.
Is Tyler Guyton ready to go? And that's why you get someone like Donovan Smith, in my opinion. He is a swing tackle at worst. At best, in the sense of what you get use out of him, he's a starting left tackle. He protected Brady, Mahomes. The guy is a solid piece and can play right tackle as well. So it wraps it all up. And like I said, what happens if Terrence Steele's the one that's the breakdown? So Tyler Guyton is better at the right side. I mean, just naturally, right tackle you play. So he's at right tackle. You still have Donovan Smith at left tackle. Or you could leave Tyler Guyton at left and put Donovan Smith at right tackle. Either way, it works out. I know we got Austin Richards, and I know we got Waletsko, and I know we got Chuma Edoga, but we all know we don't want to see them on that field. Donovan Smith, you can say, okay, we're all right. We're all right. You know, we're going to be okay. We get through this game, or he could take us through the next 3 games or a month.
Let's be real. Just so much youth and inexperience on our O-line. I think it makes anybody, regardless of talent, a little bit weary, right? It does make you want someone there that, yeah, maybe they aren't, quote-unquote, as talented, but, man, they've done this before. They know their way around the block.
And, again, our tackle position, other than Terrence Steele, which is still youngish, they're all really young. So, and Chuma Edoga, I guess. But
Beat You Up said, Tylers and Smiths have done us pretty well historically.
I agree. Tyler Guyton, we're going to be sitting right there with another T in the house. So, look, LT, left tackle, Donovan Smith, who can play right tackle, who can, be a veteran's presence in the locker room and also start without flinching if needed at the left or right side. It's an under $3 million for an offensive lineman. Do you do this? The answer is fuck yes. Hell yes. And that's one of my players that I say still out there in free agency that we should get in a realistic way. I'm trying to think cheap like these motherfucking Joneses are. Now, this one may not make as much sense because, this is from that list that I talked to you guys about with Gilmore going to Kansas City and Justin Simmons, still a free agent safety, going to Buffalo, Yannick Ngakoue going to the Raiders, Adoree Jackson going to the Steelers at cornerback, and the Eagles getting Hunter Renfrow. These are the Eagles getting Renfrow as a slot receiver, which is a guy been named for us. The guy they named for the Cowboys, well, it's not even that. They picked 6 guys, and the 6th guy they said it would be the best fit for the Cowboys. And I agree. Calais Campbell. You want your defensive tackle? You don't have to wait till June 1st. You get this motherfucker whenever you want.
Right.
So, teams right now are doing OTAs. This is important because they're figuring out what's kind of fitting in their schemes. Which players are fitting their schemes, which ones are not. What are they needing from their schemes? Now they're going to look over the free agent list, and there's a lot of
checking
deep
their
areas.
list and making it twice.
Yeah. So mini camps right now schedule the mandatory stuff within the next 2 weeks. We know the Cowboys are in, not this upcoming week. It's one more week of OTAs, and then the following week is our mandatory mini camp. Cowboys want to have their team kind of arranged and know what they need before they go about that month and a half before we go into training camp, which is at the end of July. So players won't be on the field for most of June. For like three weeks or 20 days of June, and then but for about 20 days in July, right? 25 days in July, they're not going to be on the football field for that time frame. So that's where work is done from the Cowboys and other teams too. But in free agency, the Cowboys do a lot of work in that time frame, right after the OTAs and the mandatory minicamp, before training camp, or right at the beginning of training camp. The Cowboys make those few signings, so you get a name here, you get a name there. That's where I think. Those things can help swing the balance of power. We had Malik Hooker as a guy who we got like this.
Yeah.
Right at the training camps portion of things. And other guys in the past.
Like you said, you've already mentioned a few names that, again, there is talent to be gotten, even now at this time period. So it's not completely out of the question for the Cowboys to be able to still address a few of the question marks, holes on this team.
Yeah, and I'm talking about
even within their very limited, cheap budget.
Yeah, and of course we get those $10 million. It almost forced them to spend something because they've been hiding behind that right now. We know that's going for rookies and stuff like that. So, but however you slice it, we're going to get another $10 million in front of us after covering the rookies. So we are good to go. We should have money to spend, and the Cowboys will use that hopefully to attack the free agent market here after the mandatory minicamp, which is the first week of June. Calais Campbell is the guy I've been on my radar. I'm going to talk more about him in a minute. First, we got the man staying skeptical
Woo.
fan, dropping that $2 holla. What did the man say? That J. Lou 2.
He said, is Ridgeway still with the Commodes?
I think he is. He is still with them. I know he didn't play that.
I'm sure now that Dan Quinn is there.
Yeah, he ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
But he's still there with them, I'm pretty sure. He got injured last year. I do know that, and it slowed his development. So will he stay there? I don't know. But yeah, with Quinn and with if Ridgeway is still 100% there, then yeah, I think he's going to be there a little longer for now. I don't think he's the guy we look for as saving us either. Skeptical. I think a Calais Campbell would be a guy we need to bring in there.
Yeah.
Now, is Ridgeway a nose tackle? Not he can be he can be a 1-tech or a 3-tech, a Ridgeway. Same thing can be said for Calais Campbell. Now, Calais Campbell is a bigger guy. He's more of almost a 5-tech and a 3-4 as an edge kind of. But he really can play inside as well. He did a great job. Listen, this guy's old, but he did a great job for the Falcons last year. Made them a good run-stopping team. Did I say? You guys heard what I just said? Run fucking stopping. This is what Calais Campbell. He used to be both run stop and pass rush. He used to be a freaking Pro Bowler every year with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is what I mean by when I said earlier that I still had like questions for Zimmer and his defense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I am generally curious, excited, interested to see like, how exactly do you plan on using our guys to stop the run?
But it's important like this too. Who are the guys? Let me ask you. Okay. Who are the guys that are going to be starting inside right now for the Cowboys? I just want you to name them. Inside as 1-tech and 3-tech. Our starters.
I mean, I'm just going to start naming our guys, right?
Interior,
obviously, inside, don't we have, our pick from last year, right? We got Mozzie Smith.
Nose tackle, 1-tech, yeah.
Shit, who else do we have? Osa, Digizua.
So, those are the starters. What's the deal with those two guys? Mozzie's got a shoulder surgery situation. He ain't on the field. And then you have Osa, who is also injured. We just talked about it last week with that thigh, that hip issue. So now we got two guys that are starting off the field. I know we got backups. I know we got rookies. I know we got undrafted guys. This is where Calais Campbell comes in. This is where we need a guy like that to make sure we shore this shit up inside. Because this is the game we're going to...
Honestly, when you talk about our 3-tech, our outside guys, I mean, you feel a lot more confident. Right, when you have like Micah there, you're talking about Tank.
When you talk about the edge rushers, it's different. Yeah, different like situation.
Yeah.
That's we're good there at pass rushing, and I will say even with Nealon, the rookie, he's a good run stopper at the edge, like a DeMarcus Lawrence, right? So
yeah, I'm just saying, like it just feels like a completely different
inside
situation
though is
than
an
when
issue.
You're talking about inside.
Yeah. So interior guys, our starters, Mozzie Smith, Oso Odigizua, both guys injured, and both guys might be injured in a training camp. Do not think they're going to be like ready to go.
Like no.
Well, Mozzie's shoulder, he still got the shoulder. He'll be ready for training camp. Will he be full blast though? I don't think so. I don't think they will. And Osa right now with the newer injury, we got to wait and see. I mean, I'm sure he'll be okay, and we'll see him in training camp. But
it still begs the question, like, hey, what do you do?
And those are our starters. Can they handle the run stop? We already seen they can't. So will the scheme help? Yeah, it's going to help. But that's what's supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. But now they're banged up. They need to learn this scheme, and they're not going to be on the field that much in training camp and OTAs and mini camp. I'm just saying they're not. You guys feel what I'm fucking saying? So we need a guy who can do it. Who's in there now, and the Cowboys have to make the decision after these mandatory mini camps. So get Calais Campbell, and I'm going to say this. I know you don't know. Maybe we actually met him at the one of the Pro Bowl things. Came over and signed one of our hats or something we had, our football or whatever. But Calais Campbell is a huge mountain of a man. I think he's 38 years old, so he is older. He used to be a Pro Bowl pass rusher and run stopper. Now he's just a fantastic run stopper as a 3-tech or 1-tech, which would be Osa's position. And listen, he doesn't really play 1-tech, but you could put him over the center or over the center's left arm or right arm or in between a guard and center. You could have him causing havoc in there as a run specialist inside. He's a long guy. He's a big guy. The Cowboys lost several defensive lineman, and I hate saying Dorrance Armstrong because he's an edge rusher. So it's still, to me, in my mind, is a different position. Even if they kind of overlap a little bit, Dante Fowler, losing someone like Neville Gallimore,
it's still somebody
inside
who contributed to that position.
Yeah, but
so
Neville Gallimore,
but
Neville Gallimore is inside. Dorrance Armstrong didn't play inside. Fowler, both guys were outside, but Neville Gallimore was inside. The big one to me was Jonathan Hankins.
Yeah. And let's be real. Hankins was literally holding that thing together with like duct tape and sheer will.
Yeah, but Hankins was still doing whatever he could, better than what our other guys are doing. So we lost Hankins in a battle of cheap to the Seattle Seahawks. So we lost him, right? He signed a 1-year deal with the Seahawks. So now there's not many quality defensive linemen, interior guys that you can use that are on the free agent market right now. So that's why I keep saying Calais Campbell makes a lot of sense. I got to reiterate this so people understand. I know that Calais Campbell is not a nose tackle. He's not a 1-tech, so to speak. But his ability to play defensive tackle and even as a base end in some formations would be ideal, not just for him, but for Mike Zimmer's defense. He fits Mike Zimmer's skill. I'm not saying because he's a good run stopper for the Falcons last year. I'm saying this because he's a good run stopper for the Falcons last year, even in his old age, and he's also perfect for this scheme. Yes, he could play that base edge, almost like a 5-tech edge rusher, but he's not going to be rushing. He's going to be playing like a defensive tackle role in that position in the Zimmer scheme. So the Cowboys, we already lack depth at edge rusher. He would give something there, I guess you can say. But really, we lack the most at defensive tackle, and he would give us the most inside there. He would help fill in these gaps across the board. You can even move him as you can use him as an edge rusher in some base situations, and he'll be fine as a pass rusher. Some you don't want to do it the whole game, but in some plays it's okay. So he's versatile. He can fill up a lot of the holes that we may have by losing depth, like Fowler and Armstrong, and really losing a lot of depth inside there. Not even good depth, but like Gallimore. You know what I'm saying? And having other guys that are just not panning out or questionable and injured as well, like starters Osa Odigizua and Mozzie Smith. So again, at this stage of Calais Campbell's career, no question he's a much better, a fantastic run stopper, especially when you compare it to his pass rushing, which has declined a lot. You don't want to use him as a pass rusher too often. But the Cowboys don't need help at pass rushing. We're okay. We're good. We got Micah. We got Dorrance Armstrong. We got Micah. We got Marcus Lawrence. We have Sam Williams. Mm-hmm. We have Marshawn Nealand. They're a rookie coming in. We got to see him get some snaps, a second-round pick, right? So we're kind of all right at edge. We need the help at inside, and that's where he's going to give us the most help, interior. So, again, turning 38 years old this season. And, again, you have to kind of gauge his snap counts. Someone like Calais Campbell is not going to play, constantly, in a row. He's not going to play 98% of the goddamn snaps. He's going to play 40%, 50%, 60% of the snaps at most. At most, not even that much. Play 40% of the snaps. So Calais Campbell, you have to know how to utilize him, and you have to pay him accordingly. So I think he's an affordable piece for the Cowboys inside, in the inside of the defensive line. After the OTAs, when we see that we're missing, in the OTAs, we're not going to have Mozzie Smith or Osa on the field. So they're going to see a big hole there. They better address it properly.
I know. Now, to play not necessarily devil's advocate, but realistic, I could also just see the Cowboys looking at that $10 million and saying, oh, no. We need to sign our own guys, right? Like that money, like in the sense of like, oh no, we have too
DAK
many
and CD
internal contract situations that we can't prioritize any of these free agents. So by the time we make any free agent moves, we're still talking basically whoever the veteran minimum players are that are still left at that position. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like,
I agree.
And I hate to be negative there. No. It's just that.
I 100% agree. That's the way the Cowboys do it.
Freaking quiet this offseason, and I'm still there's still a part of me that's holding out hope because, like you said, you pointed out situations where like we've still made similar moves to the ones that you've just mentioned, right? Like we're still talking within our Cowboy range, but around like a post June 1st type of move. So I'm still holding out some hope, but I have to be honest, I've never been more doubtful than this offseason.
The other thing I want to add to that, and I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But the fact that we were so immobile, we did nothing. We did nothing in this offseason. That tells me that there's a better chance the Cowboys do something in this portion of it.
Yeah.
Because this is where it's the cheapest deals for the biggest names that can fill the biggest holes. And this is where you get the bargain basement deals. Now, will they get Calais Campbell? Probably too much. There's other guys out there. There's a... what's his name? Bugs or Isaiah Bugs? Is that his name? That could be. You can get him for fucking veteran minimum. I would be happy with that. There, just to shore up the inside. But you want a guy who's going to be able to fill up 8 holes on your defensive line and with one player. Calais Campbell is the guy. The thing is that will the Cowboys pay the $4 million or $3 million or $2 million is going to cost for someone like him? I just told you about Donovan Smith, who played for $2.7 million last year. We can get him for 2.8 or 5 or $3 million. That's a steal as a freaking offensive lineman if you're serious about making a run and shoring up all your holes on the offensive line. On the defensive line, same thing as with Calais Campbell. $6 million or for $7 million. Would you get both these guys on your team? Hell yes is my answer. Shoring up the trenches, the most important part of your team on offense and defense. No brainer. Stopping the run and helping your pass protection. shoring up your both sides of your trenches. That is the move. With that $7 million out of the 10 we're going to get from the Gallup on June 1st. So I'm just saying like this. Come on, guys. Come on. What does Stephen Jones want? They wanted to take a team-friendly deal.
Look, all I'm saying is there is definitely a part of me that really does hope that the Cowboys go on a big shopping spree here in the next few weeks. That's all I'm going to say.
What I just said is a minimal. It's not even a shopping spree. It's just like bargain basement shopping. That's what it is. So it's to me what happens in this last week of OTAs and the following week of mandatory minicamp. What the Cowboys see from that in the next 5 weeks, 6 weeks before training camp or right at the end is when the Cowboys will sign the Calais Campbell or they'll sign a Donovan Smith. I'm not saying they're going to sign them, but they're going to sign people in that time frame. Will it be those names with that ability and that veteran leadership? Probably not. It'll probably be the guy 3 rungs below them that the Cowboys will sign for league veteran minimum, like you just said. So that's the probability.
I know.
I'm telling you guys, these guys are still out there for bargain basement deals that can help a team if you use them right. When we got Everson Griffin, when we got him, we got him also right at the end, and we used him incorrectly, in my opinion. With who was the guy that was running the defense then? That freaking another. What's up, Gilbert West? Welcome to the family.
Thank you for subbing it up.
Yeah, rep that star, baby. You know how we do this. But yeah, I mean, we had Everson Griffin, and we used him as a standing up defensive lineman instead of a pass rushing kind of hand in the dirt guy. What was his name? The guy with the hot sauce in the eye. Shit, I forgot his name. But the
hot sauce in the eye. I have to admit, I don't know.
Yeah, the one after Marinelli was the guy with 1 year under McCarthy, and then I forgot. Skimmer. No, Mike. Mike Zimmer is the guy we have now.
No, but it was another guy named Mike. I swear.
Yeah, Mike. It was Mike something. Yeah. I don't know why I'm forgetting it, but somebody will say it in the chat. Trust me.
I'll wait.
Point is that
I know who you're talking about.
That's where we had Everson Griffin and used them in my mind incorrectly, and that's Mike Nolan. That's what it was. So Mike Nolan was used.
I got half of it.
Mike Nolan used Everson Griffin. I agree. Incorrectly. So when you get a guy like that who has some potential, you can use him in a certain way, and you use him wrong. That's where they fail. I hope that you can if you grab a Calais Campbell and use him right. That's the proper move, in my opinion. You get a Donovan Smith, they can't really use him wrong. So, simple. I don't know. I'm getting too excited. I'm not even excited. I'm just throwing out names that you guys know out there that are still floating around that are reasonable and realistic for the Cowboys to sign, but it is above the fucking bargain basement, $1.2 million rookie veteran minimum deals. All right? So, yeah. I got to reach a little higher than that.
92, yeah, Mike Nolan.
Mike Nolan. I got to reach a little higher than that because if the Cowboys don't go for those guys, they're going to get just guys that are 1.2 million. And if they're 1.2 million guys, there's nothing. Why should I do research about them now? Why should I tell you why they would fit our team? Who cares? When they come on the team, it's like, okay, great, we got this guy. I'll let you know this is what he was in the past. He's probably going to be a practice squad guy. We got Calais Campbell. He's going to help us now. We got Donovan Smith. He's going to help us now. Yeah. That's important, and that's why they're still out there. And I want you to know that they're still out there. I want the family to know, the fans to know, they're still out there. The Cowboys are going to have about 10 more million on June 1st. Anyways, let's keep it. Any comments on that defensive side, Calais Campbell? Pick, from the chat, or any thoughts? Not realistic, I guess. I don't know.
So Asmodee said the real question is, what does Stephen Jones don't want? If he doesn't attempt to acquire Campbell and the offensive lineman, we know that he doesn't want to win.
And that's what scares me. If you want to rely on Matt Waletzko, Chuma Edoga on your offensive line, if you want to rely on Mozzie Smith and Osa, who's injured most of training camp, do you want to win? Do you want to just run? Do you want to see who gets hurt?
What is it that you're trying to do?
I agree. If they get somebody who's another practice squad guy to fight for that position, that's not trying. That's lying. They're lying. They're throwing the season, and these guys on the Cowboys just got to survive it from injury. Because if one of these guys aren't ready, there's nobody ready behind them. There's no solid, experienced guys behind most of our positions here. So, anyways.
So, Stick Aguilar 4 also said, if that's the logic, then tanking at that point, Lamb and Parsons smarten up and then leave with DAK. F the Jones family, they deserve the misery for these stupid tactics that they continue.
Yeah, and I can't blame the CeeDee Lamb thing on them now. I blame it on CeeDee Lamb, the situation on CeeDee Lamb on last year. I'll talk about that later, but last year the Cowboys should have overpaid a little bit, and they would have had a better they would have had CeeDee Lamb for fucking $28 million. We wouldn't be talking about this right now.
Beat You Up said, sometimes the apple falls far from the tree. So
as a reference to who? Stephen Jones?
It's actually a reference to, I'm guessing, Archie Manning.
Oh.
So, but I do say, unfortunately, when it comes to Steven, his apple fell pretty close to the tree. Just saying.
Yeah. Well. Let me keep it rolling. Yeah. Because we got some people that spoke on the count. Now, we talked about what could happen, some hopes, whatever. My opinion. Mm-hmm. Again, it is my opinion, James. We're all here giving opinions, but that's why we don't do the show. I don't like doing shows only on opinions. Like, we like to base things on facts. So, some quick facts on our Cowboys that we missed the last couple of days. Trayvon Diggs, repairing that, coming back from rehabbing. We're hoping to see him in training camp. But he was, he's repping the Dallas Stars, who are in the Western Conference Finals. Again, something that every Dallas team has done in every major sport except for the Cowboys in the last 29 years. But Trayvon Diggs this was his first ever hockey game. So I put some video up. It's in the shorts section of our channel. If you see it, it's kind of interesting. I got about half of it up there. I'll put the other half for the next couple of days. Funny video of Trayvon attending his first hockey game, and he really got into it. He really loves it. And how, even though that game, unfortunately, Dallas Stars lost to the Edmonton Oilers 3-2 in double overtime. It was a heartbreaker. But good news is that yesterday the Dallas Stars did win their game at home, and now it's 1-1 as they go to Edmonton to continue the series there, to go see who goes to the Stanley Cup Finals. So, again, first time for Trayvon Diggs to witness what a conference playoff game looks like. Also, I wanted to mention that Trayvon, a lot of the players the last couple of weeks, but now especially for the mm-hmm. Western Conference Championship in the NBA, right now we got a lot of Cowboys attending these games right now, and I'm talking about the basketball one when it comes to the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
The Mavericks are right now. They won the 2 games on the road, and they won today again in a close one. It's 3-0 Dallas. They won at home this game.
Really good series so far.
Yeah, but Dallas is just, it's close every game, but Dallas is pulling them all out. Mm-hmm. So good job for the Dallas Mavericks. One win away from going to the NBA Finals. First time since 2011. So congrats to them if they get there. Can you imagine if the Mavericks win the NBA Finals and the Dallas Stars win the NHL Finals? That means
and everyone but the Dallas Cowboys.
So the Rangers did it last baseball season, mm-hmm. the most recent completed baseball season. The Rangers won, which is right next to the Cowboys Stadium. Then the Mavericks do it, and then the freaking Stars do it. If that happens, then the Cowboys got old. And DAK talked about this the other day. It's a lot of pressure there for the Cowboys football team, for the Dallas football team. And
I hope they feel it because, like you've said before, as much as these other sports are out there and winning and repping the city of Dallas. Yep. Dallas is built on the Dallas Cowboys. Like that is their city through and through. So.
You got to remember the way that things look. The way when we looked at the value, the Dallas Cowboys. You add up all the teams together. Not the Mavericks. I know the Mavericks are worth a lot, but when you add up a hockey and baseball team, they're not even half of what the Dallas Cowboys are worth or bring in and are valued. So. Yeah, Dallas Cowboys.
I think even if you include the Mavericks, it's still.
Mavericks bring in a lot. Basketball brings in a lot usually, but I'm not sure. Either way, it doesn't matter. Even if they all three of them are. The point is that the Dallas Cowboys run the show when it comes to making money, representing the city of Dallas, and the Cowboys are the disappointment. But even with being disappointment, the Cowboys are still making money for Jerry Jones, and in the end. Well, that's more important than winning a championship for Jerry. So he's good with that, I guess. Now, I'm not saying he's good with losing. He's good with still making money and still being competitive, which is still an overall win for him in his mind, and Stephen Jones follows suit. Now, going on from Trayvon Diggs, when you go to defense, let's go to Micah Parsons. Guys, happy birthday today to Micah Parsons.
Happy birthday.
He turned 25 years old.
Oh, my God.
And just so you guys know, at 25 years old, he has 40.5 sacks, ranks him 13th in team history for the Cowboys. He's already, in just at only age 25, he's already the 13th sack leader for the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, to do that in 3 years is insane.
I know.
To put this into context, DeMarcus Lawrence has played 137 games. In his 12th season.
Mm-hmm.
And he has 58.5 sacks.
Jeez. I mean, again, Micah's basically just like speed running everything.
Micah reached that rank in 50 games. He did that in 50 games. DeMarcus Lawrence did it in 137 games. Like almost 80 games more. It took DeMarcus Lawrence.
I will say in Micah's defense or in DeMarcus Lawrence's defense, does he also suffer from a similar situation where coaching was an impact? But it was also obviously the difference in talent. Let's be real.
It's
Micah
both.
Parsons is much more talented, but Micah also benefited from better coaching from the jump.
I agree. But I also think I agree with you 100%. I also think that though Dan Quinn, I think a lot of people are worried about. Well, he was doing great with Dan Quinn. Why would we feel confident about anybody else taking over? But because Micah is that good, he's just so good that any coach can take him and use him and probably be using him properly.
Yeah, you have to be a real idiot to
misuse him.
Micah. And the good thing is that Mike Zimmer has lots of things, but I don't think he's a straight up idiot.
No. Mike Zimmer knows how to use Micah. Trust me. He's going to know how to use him in his defense. That's my guess. Now, Micah doing his thing, he's working out and he's going to be back. He's going to be back. Actually, he'll be back on Tuesday on that field. So I think we see on Thursday we'll have more like media access and more view of what's going on. So Thursday, the last day of OTAs, we will probably get more information, more visual stuff, more video and stuff like this. But Micah will be back this week. I'm assuming Monday for meetings, but Tuesday he'll be on the field. It'll be the first time he's back at the OTAs, back at the facility since the end of the season. So just something to keep in mind on when it comes to Micah Parsons. Now, on our defense, we still have, a guy like Israel Mukuamu, who last year we were like, he should make a step forward, right? We didn't see much of him last year.
Yeah.
Will he make another? Will he be able to make moves here with Zimmer, a new coach now taking over? In between right now over these voluntary OTA practices, this is it's like a 5-day break in between on the field. Israel Mukuamu, I'll post some video probably tonight or tomorrow, where he continues to work and do it. Try to get better in these 5-day breaks in between OTAs. So now he's entering the final deal of his rookie contract. He's entering the final year of that. He has to hope he can make a big jump. Under Al Harris, who's been there, and of course a defensive guru in Mike Zimmer. If Mike Zimmer cannot get anything out of Israel Mukuamu, he's not going to be here next year.
There's nothing to be gotten.
Yeah, I mean that's the feel of that. If Mike Zimmer's, he's made a mistake. My point is that Mukuamu is gone if he don't shine this year. That's on his last year, in a contract year.
Which I think is pretty reasonable, all things considered, right?
Yeah, I mean.
Just saying,
too bad, because I feel like there's some potential there.
We can talk about the good and the bad about Dan Quinn, but the point is that Quinn was no schlub either. So, if he couldn't develop more out of Mukuamu and Mike Zimmer really can't do more, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, at some point, you do have to kind of, call it quits. I don't know where exactly that point is, but I don't think, re-signing a guy who hasn't really shown even a small bit of what you want,
I agree.
even at his lowly drafted level.
But watch him get picked up for nothing, for a league minimum somewhere else, and he'll become a better player there. I can just see it happening. Anyways, also let's flip the script now from the defense to the offensive side. We have a lot more things to discuss here a little bit on the offensive side when it comes to the player. Before we hear the quotes and the thoughts over there on the players, we have guys all the way down our depth chart on receiver. Like Tyron Billy Johnson. I've talked about him a couple of times. He's kind of shown out a little bit there in these first OTAs. A guy who's getting more reps because no CeeDee Lamb is there.
Okay.
So he's working with right now during these days between OTAs. He's working on his footwork with route God and other specialists. So again, he was recently re-signed, brought back after the Cowboys. Last year, he was kind of a practice squad guy, was released. Now the Cowboys signed him back now. Basically, he's going to look to be a practice squad guy, but he's looking to try to improve, and he is definitely putting in the extra work. Just a reminder, last year's preseason finale, Billy Johnson led the Cowboys with 5 catches and 90 yards. But again, that was preseason against the backups of the backups. So, he's trying to put in the work, though, while there's a chance of things opening up on the field. Now, when it comes to on the field and our starters on offense, let me go right to the quarterback where it matters, where it all starts from. all-time passing yards leaders for the Cowboys. Tony Romo, number one. 34,183 yards in his career. That's number one in Cowboys history. Troy Aikman is number two with 32,942 yards passing. Number three is Dak Prescott.
Wow.
Dak Prescott, 29,459 yards.
I mean, actually, I guess it's not as surprising considering this is, Dak's
ninth year.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's been here long enough now to be able to be included in some of these discussions.
Now, let me just say this. 29,400, you got... Dak is like 3,500 yards back on Aikman. The probability he can pass him this year is high.
I agree.
So
especially with 17 games.
Yeah, I'm saying Dak's going to pass Troy Aikman. And he'll be right there behind Romo because that means next year Dak passes Romo if Dak plays his 10th year with the Cowboys. So it's the 10th season. So Dak Prescott still needs a total of 4,724 yards to hold the record all himself, which, again, I'm going to be honest about this. That can be done this year, too. I'm not saying it's going to be done, but he's hit 4,900 yards already. I'm not saying he's going to do that again, but he gets 4,200 yards, 4,100 yards, 4,600 yards. I mean, he's 100 yards back on Romo for the all-time Cowboy record. Will he stay a Cowboy, though?
Yeah.
Will he be a Cowboy after this year? So, now, the NFC, when you're looking at the quarterbacks in the NFC, and this is my question here, it's interesting because PFF has ranked their top 10 NFC quarterbacks. 10th, Caleb Williams, rookie. 9th, Geno Smith. 8th, Kyler Murray. 7th, Jared Goff. 6th, Kirk Cousins. 5th, Brock Purdy. 4th, Jordan Love. 3rd, Jalen Hurts. 2nd, Matthew Stafford. And number 1, Dak Prescott in the NFC. They're saying Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in the NFC. A lot of people agree with that. So I'm not saying you guys have to agree or not agree. My point is, when you have one of the best quarterbacks, basically analytically and statistically, in the NFL, when I see so many people hate on Dak, I'm still wondering, what is wrong with you guys? It's not just Dak. Dak is part of the problem. Makes some, but it's not. It's far from Dak being the problem. There's other bigger problems on this team. So either way, and if you want to start with anything on Dak, start with Dak and the way that the Joneses mismanaged his contract to make the price go up higher and higher and give Dak all the leverage, which they're doing again this offseason. So, again, by most accounts, I'm not saying everybody, by most accounts, analysts and experts, Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in the NFC. So,
I thought you were going to say just the NFC East, but I agree. The entire NFC.
I mean, I just went through the entire list here, baby. Of 10 out of the 15 teams or 16 teams. I just went over the list, and Dak was number 1 in the sense of by most accounts on PFF analytically and also. So Dak is, forget the NFC East, baby. I'm talking about the NFC, the whole conference. Forget the AFC because we know they got some better quarterbacks overall there.
Do.
But the NFC, the conference, by most accounts, the whole conference, Dak Prescott is the number 1 guy. And again, Matthew Stafford's number 2. I'm just saying, Hurts and Jordan Love, number 3 and 4. Brock Purdy, 5. Those are the top 5 there. The bottom 5, Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff, Kyler Murray, Geno Smith, and Caleb Williams.
Yeah, so, NFC definitely has a lot more weak quarterback-led teams.
Correct. So, even with that, though, Dak is still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He was a second in MVP in the whole NFL, not just the NFC. And so, however you slice it, Dak is for those Dak haters out there right now watching on replay or here live, Dak is the starter this year. No question about that. But Trey Lance spoke after these OTAs. He had some things to say. I know we had a little clip here and there, but let's give more context to his entire thing here because he is battling not for the starting position. He's battling for the quarterback 2 role, for the backup spot. And if you see the picture, yes, he is number 19 now, officially, so you guys know. He is number 19. You see Jaylen Tolbert, who will speak in a minute. He's number 1. These are accurate numbers. But I just want you to see, again, number 19 is Trey Lance's number, even though here you see him with his number from last year, 15. So, what did Trey Lance say, baby, about his the battle for that backup position, to battle out and try to beat out, not Dak Prescott, try to battle and beat out Cooper Rush.
Win out as the QB2,
yeah,
right?
Beating out Cooper Rush.
Trey Lance said, quote, "My mindset really hasn't changed. Controlling what I can control, continuing to learn the offense, continuing to get closer with my teammates and coaches, and just working on that. I'm excited. I haven't played a snap, obviously, since last preseason. I'm just excited and looking forward to it and making sure I'm ready when that time does come." And as far as specifically his confidence, he did say, my confidence is much higher than when I got into the NFL. I feel great about where I'm at, continuing to get better, continuing to learn, and just continuing to be a better quarterback. Adding in there maybe some of the differences and changes that he's...
And from San Francisco to Dallas, yeah.
He said it's just a different offense. In San Francisco, we weren't really dropping out and gun and passing on 1st and 10 too many times. It's totally different here where we do that. We have the guys to do that and the coaching staff to do it as well. Adding in there the final point there, quote, "The biggest thing for me, I've learned a lot about myself, who I am on and off the field. This offseason, I feel like I'm probably in my best just as far as mentally, physically, spiritually, just knowing who I am, where I am, and being able to be present."
So what do you think about that? Because, again, I like his confidence. He's kind of being rebuilt a little bit here through McCarthy. And, Dak's guiding him and all that stuff. I do think that, he could be a viable backup quarterback. I think he'll be passing up Cooper Rush this preseason, in my opinion.
It sounds like, to me personally, like he kind of... the physical situation, probably is improving by small increments and stuff like that, but it sounds like his mentality, a little bit of what he said sounded almost Dak-like. So you definitely see a little bit of that Dak influence, I think, already, but obviously Trey Lance himself is just, I think also very grounded in reality, right? But it sounds like it ended up being more, I guess, mentally expansive, right? So let's see how he handles picking up the playbook. That's what I'm trying to say. It sounds like it's less of a physical, like, oh man, he's out there, passing so much better and doing all this stuff. It sounds like mentally things are going to start clicking for him a little bit more.
That's the hope. That's what
McCarthy... It sounds like that's what, again, based off his own comments, it sounds like that's where he's saying he's feeling more confident in.
That was a family feel on this.
So, let me see. And what's up, Dustin Roberts? Shout out to you. Beat You Up said, "Cooper Rush is better than Trey Lance as far as a Dallas Cowboys
I say last year for sure. I'm saying that Trey Lance is going to give him a run for his money this year. I think this year in preseason we're going to see if he's better. And I think he's better. It's not just can he stay in the pocket and throw the ball. I think it's also, can you be mobile? Can you be utilized in the way that we want to see you utilized? Because we know Cooper Rush cannot do the things that Dak Prescott can do. Escape the pocket, do those things. If Trey Lance can escape the pocket and do those things and still kind of be accurate, then we got someone that can really back up Dak Prescott instead of Cooper Rush, who's your basic, just kind of game manager, sub-game manager. He's like your game manager who happens to be a backup as well.
So, let me see. James, by the way, I see your little quarterback discussions there. I'm not going to discuss that, James. Again, you already know how we feel about Dak here.
Yeah,
but Dustin Roberts, said, I'm going to rewind the show now. So, yes, guys, again, if you want to, even if we're live, if you want to, go back, catch up from the beginning of the show, or, catch us live for the rest of it, and then once we're
watch
done,
the
catch
replay.
The first part.
Yeah.
There's lots of different ways to kind of catch the MCF family here, whether it's live, watching on the replay, after dark. Right?
Well, you can't watch it on the replay after dark. You got to watch that live. You know what I'm saying? If you guys want to, I'm just saying this, so we're selling it. So if you guys be at the after dark party, which is you can't rewind it and you can't rewatch it because it deletes right at the end.
Only.
That's only over there. Over here, it's on forever. So you guys can recheck it, rewatch it, and point out where we made mistakes and point out your opinions as well.
So, anyway, but like I said, a few of these comments are
Dak.
Interesting. Just gonna say. So, no, it's the Dak comments by James Hurd. That's all.
Well, I would like to hear at least one of them.
Okay, so he said that he would take Love over Dak.
Some people would do that at this point, but the thing is that right now, as an overall seasoned quarterback, Dak is the best quarterback right now. Even though I understand why you can make a case for a couple of those guys. So if you take Love, okay, but what about then Dak's number 2? That's not bad. The second best quarterback in the NFC, right? So no matter who you take in front of Dak, there's not many you're going to take in front of Dak. Dak is still a top quarterback in the NFC. It's about the rest of the team, coaches, whatever it may be, getting that right so we can go and beat out these other fucking teams that have lesser quarterbacks.
So, I love that because James Harris said Purdy in 2 years is more playoff wins than Dak, Hurts, and Stafford. Aztec Aguilar 04 said Hurts and Purdy have one thing in common: they don't have a Super Bowl ring.
That's true. So did everybody except for Stafford on that list, I think.
Yeah, and Stafford is the only one with a ring on that list.
And that's why I'm saying Dak might get around that 50. He got $53.5 million. I think Dak gets somewhere in like $54 million between him and Burrow. I don't think Dak gets, people saying 60. I don't think Dak gets $60 million. That's my opinion. But anyways, we'll see what happens.
We kind of discussed that in a little more detail.
On a previous stream. Yeah, we did that in a previous stream. So,
something that sound that inspired that conversation. Cam Sam, thank you for subbing it up. I appreciate you.
Cam Sam got drafted by the MyCowboysFamily segment of the content of YouTube. So thank you and appreciate you and welcome to the family. So I think we're at 36,500 guys. So a lot of subscribers, but we call you guys family members. That's what it is here at My Cowboys Family. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when we're going live. And follow us on Discord. You can jump in there. It's football talk. When football season kind of gets going a little bit, but we also post in there. When we're going live. Same thing on Twitter, X, all social media at My Cowboys Family. And I want to hear a couple last comments about Trey Lance and that situation. That's what we're talking about here. Trey Lance's comments, being mentally ready. If we're mentally good to go, let's keep it going. Then
let's keep it rolling.
So let's get into it. Really, again, we talked about Dak. We talked a little bit about starter backup situation, and where will Trey Lance end up? Well, we'll see. That's still to be determined, right? With his battle with Cooper Rush, those $10 hollers. We'll see. We'll see how that ends up at the end of the season, at the end of the training camp segment. But let's talk some CeeDee Lamb updates, because first and foremost, you guys are going to see some video probably coming out. I just posted it. It's the biggest viewed video we've had here in a while, and I just posted it like a couple hours before the stream tonight. It was CeeDee Lamb getting work on the field there with Delphonte Diamond. Another set of kind of video clips, but to me it's more about he was working on not his route running as much as the quickness and explosiveness out of his routes, or to begin his route. Begin this, saying he's learning how to maybe break faster, cut out faster, and just have the quickness over speed right now. It looks like he's kind of polishing right now. Looks great. But he was out there with the Bills rookie receiver, Keon Coleman. Now, if you guys know Keon Coleman, he's very outgoing. I don't know if you know much about him, but he's very outgoing, kind of just speaks off the cuff, kind of interesting very interesting to watch him interviewed. And again, he's a rookie. He's entering the NFL. They're training and with the same guy that CeeDee Lamb is training with. Okay? Mm-hmm. But just in case you didn't know this, if you see him in the video in the background, you will. Both CeeDee Lamb and Keon Coleman are cousins.
Oh.
So there's relationship there, blood relationship that, connects them. I'm sure CeeDee Lamb brought him right under his wing to bring him on with Delphonte Diamond to help him with his route running and his cutting and his quickness, explosiveness, etc., etc., etc. Now, that's just that situation. We know CeeDee Lamb is still working out away from the OTAs, which he will be missing this week as well. We don't know about mandatory minicamp yet, but he's not going to be there for OTAs. At least we don't think he will be there this week, CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, but now, hey, the Cowboys could easily change that with just, one flick of the wrist, so to speak.
Well, I wish I could agree. I think that's past that at this point.
I know. I'm just
last year was possible. The Cowboys went with Trayvon Diggs and he's tore his ACL. My thing is that I think they should have done Trayvon Diggs and CeeDee Lamb last year. The Cowboys did not. So now we're paying the price on CeeDee Lamb. Right now, CeeDee Lamb, we had done it last year, was $28 million with a flick of the wrist. This year, it doesn't matter how much you flick the wrist. You're going to be paying $36 or $37 if you want to flick the wrist, baby. Yeah. That's too much. So the Cowboys are waiting for Justin Jefferson. Well, not the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb is waiting for Justin Jefferson to kind of see what the deal he's getting, so then CeeDee Lamb could try to up him, whether it's guarantees or overall numbers. So either way, that's what's holding up that deal. But CeeDee Lamb did write on a recent post on Instagram the other day, quote, "Life comes with a price, and I'm going to go, and I ain't got time for discussions." So, life comes with a price. I ain't got time for discussions. You can read that however you want.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, hey, no, it just basically, it sounds like, he's willing to make the, let's say, maybe short-term sacrifices to get the long-term things that he wants. That's how I take that more.
Really?
But I guess I don't know. I guess others can see it differently. That's the point about these nice little vague subtweets. Just throwing that out there.
Well, either way, CeeDee Lamb's situation, according to Mina Kimes, said that, it's a little bit worrisome if you're a Cowboy fan, she thinks.
Hard to not be worried, right? Again, Cowboys are, it feels like, alienating their fucking superstars, their cornerstone players here, right when it's time to finally pay the piper. So, yeah.
But again, with CeeDee Lamb, it's really the other way around. It's more like, we got to wait for Justin Jefferson to sign before CeeDee Lamb can. So it's kind of tough to blame the front office now. They should have done this last year, but it's tough to blame them now. The point is, and according to Mina Kimes, she said, quote, "It makes no sense. There is no logic to this, and if I was a Cowboys fan, I would be very, very nervous about it," end quote. And even though I agree, like, I'd be nervous about the situation not working out, it's more about, like you said, the alienation of CeeDee Lamb from the Cowboys. Yeah. But it's also, CeeDee Lamb is doing this. He's the one doing. We keep saying this, but we forget that he's the one that he's like, I want $38 million now, and that's it. And the Cowboys are not going to pay that because they'll pay $36 when Justin Jefferson gets $35.5. Yeah, so that's the way the Cowboys are looking at this. Jeremy Fowler of ESPN said this about CeeDee Lamb and his contract. Quote, "They, as in the Dallas Cowboys, the Cowboys know that he's probably waiting on Justin Jefferson to sort of reset the market, and then CeeDee Lamb can come in where landing his plane either behind Jefferson or somewhere close to him." So it just sounds like CeeDee Lamb knows he's going to be right behind Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, again, the numbers seem to tell you that basically CeeDee Lamb's waiting. He's the one choosing to wait to see where Justin Jefferson's numbers hit so he can go in there right around that same spot. That's what CeeDee Lamb is doing. And it's not the Joneses that are... The Joneses understand that this is happening and the reason it's happening and that they're fine getting a deal in there. Mm-hmm. But it's up to the Vikings and Justin Jefferson. Any comments from the chat on this situation?
Let me see here. Specifically, no.
Nothing on CD, man.
No, they're still talking about the
DAK.
The DAK situation.
See what happens when we do these live streams, guys? We should wait 4 days to go live. No, I'm just saying there's not that much information. I didn't even care about CeeDee Lamb. It's like, whatever, same thing. So, but what was the one thing I'll say, and listen, the OTAs begin again tomorrow on Monday. We know Tuesday they're going to be on the field, Wednesday on the field, Thursday on the field. Thursday will be the bigger day, so we got to be ready for that. But the thing is this, that we're seeing tomorrow Micah coming back in the fold. CeeDee Lamb, question mark. It'll be news story, though, if he is back at the start tomorrow. We'll wait and see on that. But we got to talk about a couple of the positives before we get out of here, and that is with these holes on offense with no CeeDee Lamb, the number 3 receiver role right now is going to be important for development for the Cowboys, and it comes with a big opportunity right now because now the number 3 guy is now the number 2 guy on the Cowboys, whoever that is, whether it's Jalen Brooks, one of these rookies, or Jaylen Tolbert, who I believe is the next guy up. So, yeah, he's number 18, but he is number 1 now, officially. And there's a lot of keys to his development right now with a big opportunity in front of him being the number 3 receiver. And I'm just going to reiterate this every time. He's getting also number 2 snaps right now as his number 2 receiver for the Cowboys at these OTAs and probably at minicamp without CeeDee Lamb there. So, chemistry with this offense. You see everywhere you see DAK out, these pictures of him working out at SMU or at the DAK field. Who's always in the picture in the background, laughing, catching the ball, smiling with them? Jaylen Tolbert. So he's getting chemistry with this offense even more so, and a lot more with Dak Prescott. So you speak on this, baby. What did Jaylen Tolbert say when it comes to the differences going on every year, and now entering his third year with the Cowboys and Dak Prescott.
Yeah. Adding in their quote, "This time together, whether it's talking baseball games or going to a Mavs game or a Stars game, whatever it is, just that time outside of the football field, you're growing and learning more about him, and him as in Dak Prescott. As you learn him and he learns me, you understand a person's why they're doing it and what they're doing it for. You're continuing to grow and continuing to understand that it's bigger than yourself. Having a quarterback like that, and obviously Brandon has taken me under his wing when he's out there.
Brandon Cooks, of course.
Exactly. And working with him, understanding why he does it, and hanging out with his entire family every day is special. For them to trust in me and bring me around to these environments and continuing to spend time with me, it's special for me. I'm going to do what I can to make sure I hold up my end of the bargain, and I hold it very well. I'm confident in myself, and now I'm just having fun with it."
He seems a lot more relaxed and comfortable and confident in his situation right now. Especially when you go back from even last year, but definitely when you go back to his rookie year and the way that things started off in that Kellen Moore playbook that not even CeeDee Lamb and the starters knew until week 10, right?
Yeah, you can't really blame him either. Like I said, he got the short end of the stick when he started, but he did add in there, but a little bit of that experience, right? Saying, quote, "My rookie year, I think I lost almost every bit of my confidence. Coming off a hamstring injury in OTAs and then trying to catch up and then just moving around and playing every wide receiver spot, I was thinking way more than I should instead of just going out there and having fun, knowing that I belong here, that I'm valuable at this level and can play very high at this level. That's something that I had to build back up to. It's completely different now. It's a 180, and I'm confident, and I'm having fun."
Man, that's great to know. That's great.
So he added in there that specifically going back to South Alabama for the Senior Bowl week actually helped him quite a bit, saying, "Watching college tape, seeing what I did in college, and understanding that I'm that guy, and I can be that guy at this level." So, hey.
I love it. That shows you, the Kellen Moore moving the receivers around and knowing every single spot in his offense. You can do it, but in the Kellen Moore offense was just too much for even the starters to handle. So the fact that they had Tolbert in the mix of that, we told you guys that could be an issue. In the next season with McCarthy, easier to learn. Boom, no problems. Fantastic. And, to me, that is, I think you'll see even a better Tolbert. Now is a number 3 receiver. No more Gallup, who last year a lot of people were saying already we should have replaced Gallup with Tolbert. Tolbert, was very efficient last year in his ability on the field. He's kind of like Sam Williams to me. Now it's his time to step up. Sam Williams got to step up, too, on the other side of the ball, getting a lot more of the snaps without Fowler and Armstrong, those guys there. Same thing goes for Tolbert, major year for him coming up, and I think he's ready for it. I feel that he's comfortable and confident.
So
I don't know how you feel about it, but I think I feel good about Tolbert in that number 3.
Out of all the offensive, guys that we have, or really just any of the guys that we have that are up and coming, Tolbert is the one that's shown consistent growth, progress. I think that the way our offense is designed, like you said, he only has more responsibility, and he's had even more time with Dak.
Yep.
So, that comfort level is only going to continue to grow, and I hope that it becomes second nature, for Tolbert to just catch Dak's passes and go. Right?
Woo.
Oh,
agree.
That's the best we can hope for.
I agree.
Thank you so much, Benzo.
Benzo in the house.
What's up, much love?
$10 holler.
That's right.
That's his 20th drop, I think, on Super Chats. What did the man say? I'm adding him to the board right now as we speak.
He said, "What are y'all's thoughts on the defense this year? Love you guys. God bless you and the rest of your family."
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Same to you and yours, your family. Baby, I'll let you handle that first because we're going into the defense right now.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Honestly, overall, I'm definitely more excited about our defense. I had said this earlier in the live stream. I have questions for Zimmer, not because I doubt him or I'm looking at our defense going oh my God, he's going to be wrong. It just, I want to know how he plans on using some of our guys. I don't know if you were here when Mr. MCF was talking about some of the free agents that are still available within that Dallas Cowboy range at, that defensive tackle interior spot.
That's
Calais
what concerns
Campbell,
you the most.
again, would be a fantastic, wonderful pickup. So, yeah, to me, it really is one of those things where I think we are just like 1 or 2 moves away from, once again, having a above average defense that hopefully will also be above average at stopping the run. Like that would be, and again, we could be 15. That's fine. I'll take it. But my point is that, like, we need to improve on the run stop in general. And I still feel like there's 1 or 2, kind of cherry on top moves that still need to be made. Whether the Cowboys will make them or not, we'll have to see. But I am actually more excited about a defense than I think I initially expected to be. So that's just me, though.
I'll break it down here. Appreciate the drop, brother Benzo. And I got you on the board as well. But I will say this about the defense. I don't mind losing guys like Armstrong and Fowler because I want to see more Sam Williams. So, we'll see what Moreland does. I'm sorry, I see Nealand does. Is it Moreland? Marshawn Nealand. We'll see what Nealand does because I want to see if he can even get into the rotation. That's a big one for me, seeing on that on the defense because he's going to be picking up the slack that Armstrong and Fowler don't have, along with Sam Williams. So we got to see how.
If we're asking him to do all that, he better be able to do it.
If he was a second-round pick, that's what I want to see, his usage in this defense. So when I look at the secondary, at safety, I feel very comfortable there. When it comes to the fact that we're only going to use 2 safeties in the Zimmer defense, not 3 like we did with Quinn. So I'm fine with with Hooker and Donovan Wilson right now doing the thing back there. Plus, we got really good guys like Marquise Bell back at safety. We got guys like Mukuamu. I would love to see how Zimmer uses him in this defense. And, even guys right now on this team that we have that could be defensive backs or, kind of in-betweeners that I think we can use in there and see where how Zimmer uses the defense. Remember, Zimmer, I don't really have any fear with the defensive backs because he's a defensive backs guru. That's where he started from. Like way Dan Quinn was a defensive lineman, kind of a guru. He is a guru of the defensive backs. And so the biggest issue I think I have with the defensive backs is cornerbacks, the depth. Past the 3 starters, it's a big drop-off. So Kalen Carson, he's going to be good. How about Eric Scott? Is he going to be, what's the next step? If anyone's going to get anything out of them, it's going to be this guy right here, Zimmer. So the last part of the defense, before we're going to go into this now, is the linebacking spots, which, again, I think this is the trickiest thing because the Cowboys will use, I think that Zimmer's going to use Micah as a blitzing linebacker in that A gap over the center area there. The A gap, the double A gap mug play is basically a key on 3rd downs and 7 or more. You'll see Zimmer bring it out every fucking time. It's almost unstoppable. How do you beat it? It's almost unbeatable. You have 8 guys on the line, including a safety, probably Donovan Wilson. And then you're going to have the 2 linebackers, which probably be Eric Kendricks and Micah Parsons in the middle of that over center A gap area. You don't know where they're coming from. Are they both blitzing? Who's dropping back into coverage? Is the safety coming up for run support or blitz? So there's a lot of things. You always have to keep pressure on a team. It's a Zimmer special kind of a defense. And again, defensive backs, I trust that Zimmer's going to teach it right because he's a guru at that. He's a master of that. But one side of this field can be man coverage. The other side can be zone coverage. So the players have to know the intricacies of Zimmer's defense to really be productive. But when it gets back to the linebackers, the way we're going to use these guys, I think pass rushing, no problem. The run stopping is my biggest issue, kind of like what you said. That's my big fear. And without adding a Calais Campbell or something like that, we're in trouble.
Without addressing that, we are setting ourselves up for failure before we take a single football snap in the season.
We got to get that run stop. And it's not just putting in linebackers. It's about getting defensive tackles that can take on double teams long enough so that the one of the linemen who go to the lineman that goes to the second level takes an extra half a second. You do that, you win because now you got your linebackers in there like Damone Clark or DeMarvion Overshone or Eric Kendricks. And those last 2 guys I just said, DeMarvion Overshone and Eric Kendricks, they spoke. So they actually, the last couple of days.
We got to hear from them.
Yeah, so as Zimmer kind of represents the defense here, and the coaching, the scheme, really, which is really going to be the difference maker. If we're going to be that much better, or at least up there in the top 3-4 defenses, Zimmer is going to be, the scheme is going to be the main reason for that. And of course, how we use Micah Parsons and all that good stuff. But to me, one of the biggest guys that we brought over here is Eric Kendricks, even though it's one of the few guys we brought over here. Huge player to bring over here, not just because he still has something left in him. He did great with the Chargers. He's always done great with the Vikings, and he's been under Zimmer. He knows Zimmer's scheme. He already knows it. He's already teaching the players. He's going to have the green dot. So you have a player who's a veteran, who knows the scheme of the coach very well, and can teach you on the field. Also gets the green dot on the helmet, which means they're communicating with the coach. That's a big pickup for your team.
I agree. So, again, it's one of the reasons why, like I said, I'm curious to see what Zimmer does, because he's obviously very confident in him.
He spent Zimmer had, 7 years with Kendrick. Kendrick was with Zimmer for 7 years in Minnesota. And then he spoke about the Cowboys kind of adapting to Zimmer's defensive change. Remember, Zimmer's coming in and changing the scheme of Dan Quinn. So what did Eric Kendricks say about Zimmer's changes in the Cowboys scheme from day one?
So he said, quote, "Obviously I have a lot of experience in it. We're doing things a little bit differently. We've added a lot of things, so I'm still learning. I'm still trying to check my ego. I don't know all the answers."
Yeah, so he understand what he's doing is he is also, it's not just the Zimmer defense, it's also the players we have here have done with these players and the way the players are kind of used, that are also changing some of Zimmer's defense itself. So what else did he say about the defensive kind of scheme changes of Zimmer's style now with the Cowboys?
Saying, quote, "But at the same time, I have a lot of experience. I know the weaknesses. I know the strengths of this defense. I know what it's capable of. We have a lot of guys on this team who haven't really played in this defense. They don't even know yet, but it suits them very well. So I can't wait to see it."
Oof, so that makes me happy.
There you go. I guess he's also eager for some training camp fun to see what the defense is doing, huh?
Every day he gets closer. Every day he gets closer to things. He sees another day of OTAs and mini camp. You get a little happier, I think, if you're someone like Eric Kendricks, who you see the actual knowledge of the way the defense works coming together on the field. And you can see it when it has to come together a lot faster. And let's say, it's going to take a couple years. No. This has to be done in a month. It has to be done in a couple weeks. Because by training, they're going to be learning this in their off time, and then they return to the training camp.
Yeah.
They got to know it. So that's one part of it. Now, on the other side of things, baby, you got a guy out there like DeMarvion Overshown. And DeMarvion Overshown, of course, he's wearing number 13 now, I think, the old Michael Gallup number. But Overshown is out on that field now. We talked about Damone Clark and Kendricks. They'll be the starters, it looks like. De facto, where does Overshown come in? With Marquise Bell now moving back to safety, where does Overshown kind of come in? Well, he comes in heavier, bulkier frame. And what are the expectations from Mike Zimmer about his game and how he's going to be used? I want to hear it. What did Overshown say, baby?
"I've definitely gotten bigger since last year. That was more of a me thing. And seeing my future in this league and what's going to be best for my body to be productive on the field, and that was just gaining weight. And not just gaining weight in general, but gaining lean mass, muscle weight, getting stronger. I've put on about 12 to 13 pounds of lean mass, and I'm going to go into camp a little bigger and then drop down to where I want to play, which will be around 233 to 234.
Yeah, so he's looking at about 233, 34 pounds on game day. But the point is this here that I kind of notice is that, we have a short that we put out recently that has him showing himself off. Obviously leaner, stronger, bigger body now he has on that field. And we heard the same thing at these OTAs, even if he's on the rehab side or on the sideline. He's just bigger overall. You can see it. It's obvious there. So that's one part of things. What about Zimmer's expectations?
So, adding in there, he said, quote, "I like Zim because he actually teaches us football."
Oh, wait. Does that mean Dan Quinn didn't? Oof.
No
I don't know.
"You feel it, and you get a good grasp of everything going on with the defense. You know what the safeties are doing and what the D-line is doing in front of you, and it's easy to click with everyone."
We've heard that before. Remember, we've always heard how everybody has to know everybody's position on defense when it comes to Zimmer's defense. On Zimmer's defense, the linebacker knows what everybody does, like the safety knows, like the edge rusher knows where everyone else is going to be. So that's important, I think, to have a cohesive defense on that field.
So, yeah, it definitely is interesting. So, like I said, he had it in there. I tell people all the time I'm excited to play for him. I've seen who he's coached, the defenses he's been a part of, and they've all been special. When you get to play for a guy like this, you want to take everything that he says and write it down. Make a mental note of it. Because he's not telling you anything that's not going to make you a great player in this league.
Yeah, again, remember, with his kind of knowledge, Zimmer's knowledge of this scheme, when you know it, linebackers are so important. And that's where Overshown's going to be a major part of this defense this year. I'm looking forward to seeing it. You know, when you look at him, and you look at what he said, you know, we know he's going to end up playing that weak side linebacker. Mm-hmm. All right? The weak side linebacker, the will linebacker spot. In Zimmer's defense, Kendricks will be the Mike, the middle linebacker. And Damone Clark is going to play the strong side linebacker. When we have three linebackers, Demorian Overshown is going to be the weak side third linebacker in the mix. But again, I personally like that he's kind of learning it, not just kind of getting told what it is. He's learning the defense. Got to absorb the defense. And the other thing I like is that he's, even with the offseason injury, he still put on 13 pounds of lean mass, which he's going to lose some of that on purpose, but he's coming into things bigger. And I think that, he's ahead of the curve, I think, when it comes to maybe being one of those guys that can actually show us something productive on the field, even coming off the ACL this year, this past year. Rehabbing off of that.
You never know. So, one of the other things that he also...
That was it.
Oh, that was it?
Yep.
Okay.
I thought you hit the chat up. That's why. I don't know if you were going to say anything about Overshown.
Asmodeus said, a shot at DQ straight up. So he does think that was a straight up shot to Quinn as far as, we're actually learning defense stuff here. And it's hard not to take it as a shot, whether it was one or not, right? Agree.
As a rookie, though, I'm sure he's going to say, again, last year, different kind of year for him. He was on the sidelines. He wasn't really involved as much because he was injured the whole year. It was almost like a redshirt year for him. So it's going to be a different feeling. I think that if he's asked about it, he's not going to say that's a shot at Dan Quinn. It's just that Dan Quinn didn't maybe pay as much attention to me because I was rehabbing. And he had to worry about winning games. So, except for that playoff game, of course. I'm joking.
So, let me see. Lil Dallas Cowboy said, I like Hooker. He's talented. Donovan is a heat missile. Roy Williams after Roy.
I like both safeties. As I was answering Benzo's question, I'm a big fan of both safeties, and I think that, for the Zimmer defense, all you need is two of them. We have, 4 solid safeties. Mukuamu and Marquise Bell are very good. I don't want to see them both starting together back there, but one has to come in for some plays, or we have to add a third safety for a play, or I'm cool with Marquise Bell in there for a play, for occasional plays.
Yeah.
I'm good with him coming in there, Marquise Bell, and playing that strong safety. You know what I'm saying? The guy who's going to come down and help the run support. That'd be Marquise Bell. He did that last year. He did a damn good job at that. So, yeah, I have no problem with that kind of situation. And Mukuamu, he'll have to play the free safety role. Not sure if I feel comfortable with that yet, but that's where I hope where Mike Zimmer and that kind of his defensive backfield expertise will help all these guys get better. So anyways,
I agree. So AOD said I miss Tony Romo. Well,
Romo was good. He blew some games for us too.
I
remember those
games.
Has
been over long enough that I think I'm okay. I don't miss him anymore. So
yeah, well, we'll see.
Oh, Aztec Aguilera for much love. Thanks for being here. Of course, yeah, Benzo too. Let me see. Yeah, you can't sign everyone, Eastside Herald, but that doesn't mean you can't sign somebody. Anybody at this point.
We have 8 million open, and we get another 10. We have 18 million open, and we haven't signed anyone yet. If we sign DAK and CeeDee Lamb, we're gonna have another 40 million open. The Cowboys could sign someone if they wanted to. The thing is, and I said this before, it's about the clown show. It's about that front office, unfortunately, which is the problem. It's about these two clowns. Them two, right? Not us two. Those two clowns.
Always.
So, unfortunately, Stephen Jones is probably running the cap stuff now, the money stuff, which is... he's even less likely to get a big name guy and do something with him here. He's more apt to let these fucking good rookies that we actually hit on the draft, let them go, because the cap.
Oh, so speaking of the cap, we're going to wrap things up here. No cap. Here, so make sure to say hello and hi in the chat. Of course, before we do, a quick reminder to everybody to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us anywhere and everywhere at MyCowboysFamily. Of course, hop in the Discord, link for that's in the description box down below. Thank you very much to our current representation. A big mahalo to the man Mark Hovsepian.
Yeah.
He is the current sponsor of the week and the stream boss.
Ooh, he's got what?
64
there.
Yeah.
64 points hanging on there almost. He's in that yellow area right there. Mark's hanging on all the way from Hawaii. Much love repping that star over there. You got the queen of the Cash App, Gloria.
Mm-hmm.
She's hanging on to that crown for this week. Much love to her. And, of course, Skeptical Fan. He is the champion of the membership gifting board. So much love to you guys repping it this past week. But, baby, we have a new week now.
That's right.
We're going to have new winners here.
So the baton is being passed. The crowns are being passed once more.
Yeah, and right now at this moment, the gifting board, the battle between Jet Li 44 and Skeptical Fan, it is separated by one right now, and that is Jet Li trying to reclaim it. He is in first place currently over Skeptical Fan by one. He's got 4 gifted memberships. Skeptical's got 3 gifted memberships. So it looks like Jason Renfro, formerly known as Jason Renfro, now known as Jet Li 44, it now looks like he officially is going to have 6 out of the last 7 weeks of domination on the gifting board. So much love to him. Big shout outs to Jet Li 44. And then Gloria is going to be passing that torch now, that baton over to the current leader and now the winner of the Cash App board, the man. We all know he has the plan. McLovin in the house. Much love to McLovin, who is our Cash App king and also about to be the sponsor of the week. I think he wins by 15 over SCO971. So much love to everybody in the house who made a run at things, who are on the boards representing it this past week and are going to be on the board representing it this upcoming week. Can't do this without you all. I'd say the only one that's close is a skeptical Fan and Jason Renfro. But that, again, in the next 2 minutes, the show is ending. So that looks like the winners have been named. Thank you all. Appreciate you all. And, hey, by the way, McLovin gets in the raffle now. He's the last name, I think, of this month. Maybe we have one more week to do this in. But, yeah, because remember, the star level raffle, a weekly winner gets in the bonus entry. And that means McLovin, I think he has 2 bonus entries, while Mark Hovsepian has 1 bonus entry. I think we have 1 more entry to do, and that's, of course, starting tomorrow. Or the next time we go live. If we go live on Tuesday, if we don't go live tomorrow, there's no news. We'll go live Tuesday. The Cowboys are back in the field. We'll hear from coaches. So Tuesday is probably the better day to look for us going live, kicking off the new week. But we got our champions kind of crowned here. And again, I got a shout out and much appreciation to all you guys here with the drops of love that help here on the nightly on the After Dark session, which will probably go live tonight for a little bit on After Dark. But a big shout out to Skeptical Fan who dropped the gifting membership and a little love. Also, Jet Li 44 with a couple gifted memberships and a little love. Beat You Up with a $10 Cooper Rush Hollow along with Benzo. Also did the 10 on it. So thank you guys for repping it here with us. Baby, I think it's time for those shout outs and wrapping up this stream. That's this week. That's this month in this year as you're getting ready. Hopefully make a run. We got 5, but we need that 6 and beyond. Who's in the house? And let's get those final shout-outs / comments.
Hey, yo, D, shout out to you. Saying Dak's not it. The Jones family is not it. Until then, go Cowboys. Well,
always go Cowboys.
Always go Cowboys.
But, yeah, I mean, whether or not Dak is it or not, the Joneses are the foundational issue.
Asmodeus, much love, saying the shoulder wasn't major. Only the ankle was major. So, you're talking about Dak's ankle injury, I'm guessing there. So, because he said that comparison is like apples and oranges. Dak had 1 major injury, whereas Romo was injury if you looked at him hard enough. So, basically, he was injured.
Much easier injured. I agree with that.
So, agree. Dak definitely can take a hit so far.
Yeah, he definitely he's not nearly as fragile as Romo, for sure.
Let me see who else we have in here. Asmodeus, of course. Thank you for that comment. We have Dallas Common 92 in the house. What's up? Saying Romo can stay where he's at. Yeah. Agree. Let me see. Little Dallas Cowboy, what's up? Saying Romo was a G. I agree. Hey, I also agree. Again, not trying to take away anything that he did for our team. So, let me see. Little Dallas Cowboy, what's up? James Hurd representing. Aztec Aguilar 04. Benzo. Even you, Eastside Herald. Even you. Little Dallas Cowboy, much love. Beat you up, of course. Thanks for rocking with us. We have Jacob Vasquez in the house. Let's see, even you, Eastside Herald. Alright, but yeah, that's as far back as I can go. Let me come back down. And number 2 with Fries. Take it easy. Have a great night. Little Dallas Cowboy, much love. So let me see. Jet Li. Have a great night. I think that's everyone here so far. So, baby, let me see here. And, of course, CF After Dark. I wonder who that is. I wonder what happens if you follow that link. Anyway, guys, yes, if you, can't get enough of us, make sure to, hop in After Dark if you'd like.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's definitely...
We'll be back, like you said, sooner rather than later. It just depends on our front office at this point.
Yeah,
we are in there, man.
Yeah, we'll be back on probably, obviously tomorrow's a chance we get back here if CeeDee Lamb shows up. You know what I'm saying? We know Mike is showing up tomorrow, OTAs. But if something happens that, big news, we'll be live tomorrow. If not, Tuesday is when, the on-the-field practices get back rolling on OTAs. So, we'll definitely be back by Tuesday at the very least, representing the winners and doing our thing here. Thank you guys for stopping in, watching us here or on the replay. I don't know. I think that's everything, right? I mean, we got the After Dark stuff. In case you do follow that, subscribe to it. Make sure you hit that notification bell, because if you don't, you'll never know. We're live late at night, and usually just me. And there's a lot of craziness. There's a panel. We all talk. There's a lot of shit talking. There's a lot of. It's not football. It's everything else. There's some politics in there. So you had your warning, guys. If you can take it, go and join it. Check it out. Maybe it's interesting. Maybe you hate it. Either way. A little fun there on the side, for the insomnia nights.
Yeah.
So you can join up on that. If you don't like it, you can leave it. It doesn't matter, because this is the Cowboy Family channel, and it's about our Dallas Cowboys, and that's what it's about here. So on that note, baby, thank you all for repping it here with us, baby. But it is time to close it out for the night/week as we crowned our champions. So before we can do that. Let everybody know, why do we do this each and every night here at My Cowboys Family?
It's that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything.
Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly. Here on MCF, we always rep that star over everything. And, of course, on this channel, My Cowboys Family, for about a little over a month away from 7 years on YouTube. Never forget the number one thing here, now, and forever. As always, Go Cowboys! We got 5, but let's get that 6 and beyond.
Ooh,
thank you all.
One way to do it.
Hell
one
yeah.
step at a time.
Hell yeah. And of course, keep all those, people that served our country, gave their, the ultimate sacrifice here for Memorial Day. Officially is tomorrow, celebrated. So, again, honor it. And, of course, our condolences and our thanks to those that have given the ultimate sacrifice Memorial Day. Not wanting to make it a somber ending, but we're in the middle of it right now. So, as far as Memorial Day is concerned, so again, we will definitely be honoring it and appreciate those that do as well. Now, on that note, we wrap it up here, guys. You guys dropping the knowledge in the chat. Thank you for doing that. We gotta learn and hear from you guys, so we can kind of, we all learn together in this thing here on My Cowboys Family. And the same thing goes for those that drop the love from above. Big shout outs to you guys, keeping the channel going, flowing on almost the nightly when the Joneses have some news. But yeah, thank you guys for the gifted memberships, for the families in the chat here. They have those the emojis and more. So appreciate all you guys that drop the love from above. But on that note, it is time to clock out and drop out of here for the night, relock and reload, end the week, and start a new show tomorrow or Tuesday, kicking off a brand new week here. But baby, before we can do all of that, what do we got to do before we drop out of here for the night?
We've got to drop the beat.
Oh, yeah. That beat's been dropped. It's a wrap right here in my Cowboys family. See some of you guys on the After Dark session. Probably a short live stream today, which means like 2 hours. But thank you all again for rocking with us. Appreciate you all. We'll see you guys once again here starting tomorrow/Tuesday. And then we'll go from there. Again, you could be anywhere right now. You're watching us live right here, right now. And appreciate you all here as we wrap up another day, another week of Dallas Cowboy football on our MCF Cowboys chat. Hell yeah. And I talked about starter and backup at quarterback. And on offense, you know, CeeDee Lamb's missing right now, of course, at OTAs. But number 1, Jaylen Tolbert's looking forward to that opportunity at number 3 at that receiver spot. Getting a lot of number 2 reps in there, right? In the defense, you know, Trayvon Diggs rehabbing, but at the game, Stars games, you know, let's go Dallas. Let's win these games when it comes to hockey. But in the end, it's about the star over everything. Overshown, talking about the linebacker spot. Micah, happy birthday. We talked about that and so much more right here in MCF. But it's about that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything, guys. That's right. Never forget the number 1 thing right here on my Cowboys family. Thank you to everybody in the house chilling here, watching us and hanging out. Make sure you don't forget to hit that like button for the stream. Hit subscribe for the channel. Keep growing the family members here, guys. Let's keep it going. Of course, also don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know we're going live. Trying to be live on the nightly, and of course follow us on X and Twitter at my Cowboys family. You can also jump in the Discord if you're watching this in the replay. Yeah, hit the like button as well, but also comment down below, and we'll see you all back here again very soon. Take care, stay safe, and never ever forget, Go Cowboys!